Good afternoon and good evening.
Hola, buenas tardes.
I'm Luis Alfonso Duluc.
Y yo, Vicky Arbizu.
We are members of the Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez from Houston, Texas, now living in Spain, and we will be your hosts today.
Somos Dama y Granadero de Gálvez y tenemos el honor de ser sus anfitriones hoy.
We are so happy and honored to have all of you join us in this online celebration of Macharaviaya's 4th of July commemoration.
Sí, estamos muy contentos y nos sentimos honrados de estar hoy aquí celebrando el Día de la Independencia estadounidense con Macharaviaya y sus ciudades hermanas, Pensacola y Galveston.
We are talking to you from Seville, not Macharaviaya. No COVID-19 was going to stop us from celebrating this occasion with you, especially Pensacola and Galveston, Macharaviaya's sister cities.
That's right. Y gracias a la tecnología podemos mantenernos unidos y celebrar el legado de Bernardo de Gálvez desde Sevilla.
Yes, we are honoring our hero, Bernardo de Gálvez, whose leadership and support were pivotal for the success of the American Revolution.
Sí, parte de un legado hispano que comenzó hace más de 500 años en América.
Yes, we are so proud of Spain's legacy in the American lands, a legacy that started over 500 years ago.
Hoy nos acompañarán nuestros amigos don Antonio Campos y doña Katie Halliburton, alcalde y teniente alcalde de Macharaviaya, también don José Andrés Gálvez y don Antonio Telles, presidente y secretario de los Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez de Macharaviaya. Además, estarán con nosotros algunas personas claves que han ayudado a mantener viva la memoria de Gálvez. Finalizaremos con una bonita sorpresa que nuestros amigos macharatungos nos han preparado.
Yes, we are so honored to have with us some of the people who are keeping the legacy alive. Now we suggest that you stay with us till the very end because our friends in Macharaviaya have special surprise for all of us.
Ahora, desde Macharaviaya, ciudad natal de Bernardo de Gálvez, don Antonio Campos nos dará la bienvenida.
Bienvenido, don Antonio.
Gracias, Alfonso y Vicky. Welcome to Macharaviaya. Bienvenidos a Macharaviaya. Nos encontramos junto al único español que fue nombrado ciudadano honorario de Estados Unidos. Macharaviaya celebra cada año el 4 de julio como homenaje a los Estados Unidos y a la contribución que hizo Bernardo de Gálvez a su independencia. Happy 4th of July. Feliz 4 de julio.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. We're here in Macharaviaya. I'm here again with Antonio Campos, our alcalde. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's watching us. We know we're being watched in Pensacola, in Galveston, in Jacksonville, in lots of other places, although in Houston, Washington, all these places are watching us. Also from the center of the city of Malaga and all over Spain, they're watching us. So I'd just like to say a special hello and thank you to everyone. And also we'd like to thank you, all the people who have put their energy and together to make all these wonderful videos we're going to see today. If it wasn't for them, this wouldn't have been possible. So thank you to everybody. And Viva Gálvez!
¡Viva!
¡Viva!
De todo, nuestro más sentido recuerdo para todas aquellas personas que han dejado de estar con nosotros debido a la terrible pandemia que nos azota. Pero una situación tan crítica no puede hacernos perder nuestra conciencia, nuestros valores, nuestra historia y, por supuesto, nuestro futuro. Y en esa historia tenemos que recordar a las personas ejemplares que con su esfuerzo y empeño cambiaron el mundo y lo hicieron mejor. Entre esas muchas personas que estaba Bernardo de Gálvez, un héroe compartido por España y Estados Unidos y que ha hecho que después de tantos años sigamos unidos hoy conmemorando este momento. Mi más sincera felicitación a todos los americanos por la celebración del 4 de julio, acontecimiento que lo hacemos nuestro y afianza la amistad mutua y nuestro deseo de seguir trabajando juntos. En un día como hoy no quiero dejar de acordarme de la representante de España en Pensacola, nuestra querida María Davis. Fue ella la que nos abrió las puertas de nuestra ciudad hermana para que forjáramos unos lazos de amistad con todos los increíbles amigos que hoy tenemos allí. Nos hizo conocerlos y llevarlos en el corazón desde entonces. Gracias María, gracias Pensacola. Nos espera un futuro esperanzador, donde espero que sigamos juntos, colaborando, trabajando y conservando los lazos ya establecidos, y para ello contamos con todas las personas que en Pensacola lo han hecho posible, y con su alcalde, Grover Robinson, un amigo que desde siempre ha mostrado su apoyo e implicación y al que invito a profundizar en nuestras relaciones, como lo hicieron sus antecesores en el cargo, y me gustaría recibirlo en Macharaviaya. El futuro trae también muchas esperanzas depositadas en el nuevo hermanamiento de Macharaviaya y Galveston. Esperamos que la relación recién establecida sea tan emocionante y fructífera como lo es con Pensacola. Si llevamos 10 años celebrando el 4 de julio, el año próximo tenemos muchas ilusiones puestas en hacer una gran celebración en la que conmemoramos la fecha, y también espero el haber dejado atrás la grave situación sanitaria que tenemos. Por lo tanto, les invito a todos a que el próximo año estén con nosotros en Macharaviaya. ¡Vivan los Estados Unidos, Pensacola, España y Macharaviaya! Happy 4th of July, dear friends.
In the 18th century, General Bernardo de Gálvez was born in Macharaviaya, Spain. In 2014, he was named honorary citizen, the highest recognition granted by the United States of America. In 2012, he received the Great Floridian title, and in 2008, he was named honorary citizen of Louisiana. In 2013, the city of Pensacola proclaimed the 8th of May Gálvez Day, with important acts carried out each year in his honor. Since 2012, Pensacola, Florida, and since 2019, Galveston, Texas, are sister cities to Macharaviaya. In 2009, the Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez was founded in Macharaviaya. In 1975, with the decisive help of the Spanish ambassador Eric Martel, the Order of Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez of San Antonio, Texas was founded. Today there are many more all over the United States of America. Since 2009, the city of Macharaviaya has commemorated the 4th of July in honor of the contribution made by General Bernardo de Gálvez in the American independence, the first Western democracy. to enjoy the experience with you all here in Macharaviaya next year.
Thank you, Macharaviaya. Your beauty is only surpassed by the kindness and courage of your people.
Now, from the other side of the Atlantic, Mr. Fidel Santos, Governor General of Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez, will lend us some words.
Estimados damas y caballeros, muy buenas tardes. Es un honor compartir por este medio con todos ustedes la celebración anual del 4 de julio en Macharaviaya, la ciudad natal de nuestro héroe Bernardo de Gálvez. Nuestro más sincero agradecimiento a la ciudad de Macharaviaya por su esfuerzo y dedicación a sacar a la luz el apoyo de España y la heroica participación de Bernardo de Gálvez en la Revolución Americana. Many thanks go out to our hosts, Luis Alfonso and his wife Vicky, our first Bernardo de Gálvez Yo Solo Award recipients, for organizing this virtual gathering. Thank you for your invitation. Yo soy Fidel Santos, Gobernador General de los Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez. Un saludo muy cordial de parte de mi esposa Juanita y un servidor celebrando con ustedes desde Laredo, Texas. While this pandemic has upended our world and made our routines more difficult, it has also allowed us to rise to meet the new challenges and adjust to doing things differently. These challenging times have made it all the more an honor and a privilege that today our United States chapters of the Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez can all join the great city of Macharaviaya in its celebration along with its sister cities of Pensacola and Galveston. On the subject of international exchange, the chapter governors of Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez have been exploring the possibilities of international expansion of the Order of Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez. Today, on this 4th of July, 2020, it's my great honor to announce that the governors of all the United States chapters, which are Joe Perez of the San Antonio chapter, Nan Harper of the Pensacola chapter, Robert Gray Freeland of the Louisiana chapter, and John Espinosa of the Houston chapter, have voted unanimously to amend our organization's national bylaws to now allow the establishment of the International Association chapters of Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez. The final ratification of these changes will occur on November 7th of this year at our virtual national meeting. In a brief moment, the chapter governor of Houston, John Espinosa, will elaborate further. Fue un placer compartir con ustedes en esta celebración. ¡Viva Gálvez!
Thank you, Don Fidel, for your words. We are so happy and excited about all the things happening with the Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez all over the world. We hope to see all of you soon.
Pensacola is Macharaviaya's oldest sister city. Unfortunately, this year, they were not able to meet personally with their friends in Spain. But today, thanks to technology, we will all enjoy each other's company. Now we will listen to the words of Mr. Grover Robinson, Mayor of Pensacola, Ms. Nan Harper, Governor of Granaderos y Damas de Pensacola, and Mr. Trevor Odom, Granadero from Pensacola. Welcome.
Hola and buenos dias. Very happy to be here with the citizens of Macharaviaya. We wish you a happy 4th of July, and we thank you so much for your community and for General Bernardo de Gálvez for the work that he did to help us and our allies create the United States. We've certainly been going for a number of years, and we've certainly have enjoyed our relationship with Macharaviaya and all the people there. We certainly enjoy our sister city, and I have recently been awarded a proclamation here by the Granaderos and Damas of de Gálvez, and so I have my Yo Solo patch as well. So I will be celebrating the 4th of July here in Pensacola, and we are so glad that Macharaviaya will also be celebrating. We hope you have a great 4th. We look forward to seeing you, and when COVID gets over, I'm looking forward to some point coming over and seeing you and being there to participate with you. again, thank you so much for what you've done. Viva España y Estados Unidos. And thank you. Muchas gracias.
Saludos de Pensacola. Me llamo Nan Harper, gobernadora de Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez de Pensacola. También soy presidenta de Ciudades Hermanas de Pensacola. Alcalde Antonio Campos, alcalde teniente Katie Halibon, es un placer estar con vosotros, nuestros amigos de Macharaviaya, allí en Andalucía. Damos gracias a Eric Martel por su visión en establecer el orden de Granaderos de Gálvez en Texas hace muchos años. Gracias a María Davis, Dama María Davis, quien propuso el establecimiento del capítulo de Granaderos de Gálvez aquí en Pensacola. Además, a María ocurrió la idea de formar una relación de ciudades hermanas entre Pensacola y Macharaviaya. Resulta que muchos de nosotros hemos tenido la oportunidad de visitar a Macharaviaya y participar en la celebración del 4 de julio que cada año crece más inmensa y más profesional. Al otro lado, muchos de ustedes nos han visitado en Pensacola para la celebración del Día de Gálvez, el 8 de mayo, y para la dedicación de la estatua más recientemente. Como María dice, Pensacola tiene la batalla de Pensacola. También tenemos la estatua del general Bernardo de Gálvez más joven. En fin, en Pensacola guardamos en nuestros corazones recuerdos de amistades profundas que durarán entre generaciones. Decimos viva Macharaviaya, viva Gálvez. Reconocemos el papel de España, no solamente en la realización de los Estados Unidos de América, pero en su influencia en el desarrollo del mundo nuevo. ¡España!
Los Granaderos y Damas de Pensacola fue establecido en 1980 en previsión del 200 aniversario del sitio de Pensacola. María Davis era uno de los miembros fundadores. María es de Palma de Mallorca. Se casó con un famoso aviador naval estadounidense y la pareja se retiró en Pensacola. Allí se convirtió la vicecónsul honoraria de España. Por muchos años ella defendía y fomentaba una mejor relación entre España y Pensacola. Como resultado de su participación, muchas cosas han ocurrido por sus esfuerzos excepcionales. Se incluyen lo siguiente. Un busto de Bernardo de Gálvez fue colocado al sitio antiguo de la fortaleza británica, Fortaleza Jorge, en 1981. El barco Juan Sebastián de Elcano de la Marina Española ha visitado Pensacola muchas veces en los últimos 30 años. Sus Majestades, el rey Juan Carlos y la reina Sofía, visitaron Pensacola en 2009 para conmemorar el aniversario 450 de Don Tristan da Luna y su expedición a Pensacola. Sin embargo, sus majestades solo participarían en las festividades si Gálvez fue honrado primero. Sus majestades visitaron la estatua de Gálvez y Fortaleza Jorge y se colocó una corona. Después de sus majestades dedicaron un marcador histórico a Don Tristan da Luna y dieron un discurso a los ciudadanos de Pensacola en la plaza de Ferdinand. En 2010, Pensacola y Macharaviaya se hicieron ciudades hermanas. La relación fue formalizada en 2011 con una visita a Pensacola por el alcalde de Macharaviaya, Antonio Campos. La relación continúa hoy. Además, María Davis iba a España con delegaciones de Pensacola para participar en las festividades del 4 de julio en Macharaviaya y crecer la relación histórica entre las dos ciudades. Después de la recreación de la batalla de Pensacola en 2009, los Granaderos y Damas de Pensacola resucitó. Inicialmente fue dirigido por Wesley Odom, pero ahora lo dirige Nan Harper. Anualmente, el grupo ha hecho pequeñas celebraciones en el Día de Gálvez el 8 de mayo. Este fue el día en 1781 cuando la fortaleza de Reina Ana explotó por los cañones españoles, terminando el sitio más largo de la Revolución Americana. Mucha gente de España ha visitado Pensacola en los años pasados. Las festividades han incluido fiestas, viajes en un yate, cenas, conmemoraciones, un desfile y servicio de adoración. Durante las conmemoraciones, los granaderos han dado premios a estudiantes que ganó concursos de ensayos sobre Gálvez. En el año 2014, el Congreso de los Estados Unidos confirió la ciudadanía honoraria a Gálvez, citándolo como un héroe de la guerra revolucionaria que arriesgó su vida por la libertad del pueblo de los Estados Unidos y proporcionó suministros de inteligencia y un fuerte apoyo militar a los esfuerzos de guerra. Solo 8 extranjeros han recibido este honor. Localmente, este esfuerzo defendido por Nancy Fetterman, un miembro de los granaderos y damas de Pensacola. En el año 2018 fue la celebración más grande del Día de Gálvez porque fue combinado con la dedicación de la estatua a Gálvez a caballo. Este tipo de estatua es la primera en Pensacola y es un gran tributo al general español. En el año 2020, durante la crisis de coronavirus, miembros de los granaderos y damas de Pensacola donaron dinero a Macharaviaya para ayudar gente en necesidad. Esperamos que el espíritu de cooperación y solidaridad entre nuestras dos ciudades y países continuará. ¡Viva Pensacola! ¡Viva Macharaviaya! ¡Viva Gálvez!
Muchas gracias por sus palabras. Thank you. Pensacola, you continue being a beacon that spreads Bernardo de Gálvez's accomplishments. We can't wait to meet you again.
Now we come to Galveston, beautiful historical city in the Texas Gulf Coast, and Houston, our home for over 20 years. Today we have the pleasure of introducing our friend John Espinosa, Governor of our Order of Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez. He has great news to share with us today. Mr. Bill Adrians, representative of the Sons of the American Revolution in Galveston, Sculptor Mr. Eric Caposta, Mr. John Yarborough, Mayor of Galveston, Ms. Kelly DeShawn, Executive Director of Galveston Parks, and composer Ms. Carol Warwick. We cannot forget Mr. Bob Phillips, who helped edit the Galveston video. Here they are.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Espinosa, Governor of the Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez of Houston and Galveston, Texas. I am delighted to welcome you to this first virtual 4th of July celebration that is being brought to you by the people of the Spanish city of Macharaviaya, birthplace of Bernardo de Gálvez and sister city to Pensacola, Florida and Galveston, Texas. Congratulations to Macharaviaya for your efforts not only with this wonderful event, but also for your initiative to team with your sister cities to form a tremendous bond with the United States and with our efforts to finally tell the full story of Spain's critical support to the American Revolution and to bring to light the profound heroism and tactical genius of Bernardo de Gálvez. It is my honor to announce today that the Governor General and the governors of all the local United States chapters of the Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez have voted unanimously to approve changes to our bylaws to allow the establishment of international associate chapters of our organization. The final ratification of these changes will occur, of course, at our virtual national meeting in early November with the vote of our full membership. But with the governor's approval, I have been charged to announce that the Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez de Macharaviaya will be our first international associate chapter, followed then by a new chapter in Avila, Madrid. Congratulations to both of you. We will now move to our taped presentation from Galveston, Houston, that will showcase the monument project slated for your sister city of Galveston, Texas. But I also want to announce the brilliant Mary Carol Warwick has completed the composition of the score of Yo Solo, the opera about the life of Bernardo de Gálvez that we have commissioned. We will now work to showcase this complete work sometime after the pandemic lifts, and will begin to prepare for a premiere of this opera both in Spain and here in the United States. Before we go to the video, however, let me say how proud I am once again of all of you in Macharaviaya for all your effort to bring to life the memory of the Gálvez family, and for your role to recognize and publicize what Spain did to help our great nation. Without you, without Spain, and without Bernardo de Gálvez, no 4th of July celebration anywhere could possibly be the celebration that it will be today. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now in the sculpture studio of Eric Coposta here in Houston. From the studio, we're going to be hearing from Mr. Coposta himself, explaining his design decisions, working on the statue monument of Bernardo de Gálvez slated for Galveston, Texas. Also, we'll be hearing from Bill Adrians, who is the president of the Sons of the American Revolution in Galveston, Texas. And you'll hear a little bit from the brilliant Mary Carol Warwick, who is the composer of Yo Solo, the opera that the Houston chapter of the Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez has commissioned about Bernardo de Gálvez. We're so happy to be able to bring this information to you today, and we're delighted to be in Eric's wonderful studio. Let me now introduce Mr. Adrians, Bill Adrians, from the Sons of the American Revolution in Galveston.
Hello, and thank you all for joining us. I'm Bill Adrians. I'm the president of the Bernardo de Gálvez chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. And we're so happy that we're able to do this online meeting with everyone on this 4th of July and celebrate the role of Spain in the American Revolution and Bernardo de Gálvez. Our chapter has been raising funds for this statue for quite a number of years, and we're getting really, really close. The COVID-19 epidemic has put us back a little bit in our fundraising efforts, but we hope to emerge again and finish this statue and put it in Menard Park in Galveston. And so we thank you once again for everyone joining us, and congratulations on the Sister City program that we have with Macharaviaya. Happy 4th of July. Thank you very much.
Hi, buenas tardes. My name is Eric Coposta, and I have the privilege of being the sculptor that is making this monument for the city of Galveston, Texas. It is of General Bernardo de Gálvez, who is the namesake of one of the most important cities historically in our country. I have tried to depict him in a pose that is indicative of the inscribed lettering on his crest of arms, coat of arms that was given him by the King of Spain. And it says on that crest of arms, Yo Solo. And this was a moment where during the battle against the British in Pensacola, he, against the advice of some of his admirals working under him, went ahead. Instead of not going ahead with the attack, he decided to do it even if they did not want to join him. He was going to do it by himself. So he said to his troops, if you don't want to go, I alone will go. Yo Solo, I alone. And that is the pose that I have given him here on the sculpture. You will see on the sculpture we have done research with people that have written books about the uniforms of the time, and I've tried to show in the detail that you see behind me the rank, which is indicated by the detail on his jacket, and you'll see the horse he is riding is a Spanish horse, a Lusitano, and it is in the pose, the very elegant movement that these horses are noted for, which is that high stepping leg action. Very elegant. The cockade that he's wearing on his hat. So here we have the Spanish crest on his, in this repeated pattern on his blanket on the horse. So little details that we think will make this piece come alive.
We not only want it to be a statue that commemorates our history and that Bernardo de Gálvez, we want it to be first class. We want it to be a destination. We want people to talk about it. We want people to come and enjoy the history.
And one of the great things about this statue project is it brings to life a historical relationship that Galveston has had with Spain. And as the world gets smaller, it's so much more important to understand how we're all the same as opposed to being different. And this bilateral cooperation between Galveston and Spain is really something to be proud of.
The city of Galveston has agreed to allow it to be erected at Inner City Park, Menard Park, right on Seawall Boulevard.
Seawall is an iconic place on our island because it sits on what is the longest contiguous sidewalk in the United States, the seawall that created our community. And right there by the iconic Pleasure Pier is the community park of McGuire Dent. It looks out majestically onto the Gulf of Mexico.
Honorary Dama de Gálvez.
Hi, I'm Mary Carol Warwick. I'm the composer of the opera based on Bernardo de Gálvez. And I was so inspired when I read this story of this beloved, intelligent, wonderful man that I wrote inspirational music for the opera. I so much enjoyed working on it. I hope that you all enjoy seeing it as much as I did writing it. Thank you.
Awesome news from John Espinosa. Everything is ready to have our friends from Macharaviaya, Avila, and Madrid be part of a now international organization. Let's help our friends from Galveston erect his own Gálvez monument. So keep donations coming. And now, our friends from the Granaderos and Damas de San Antonio want to share their greetings. Welcome.
Granaderos, de frente, marchen!
¡Ataque! ¡Tambores! Our mission: to educate the public about Spain's participation in the American Revolution.
When you look at the Granaderos and you look at how far we've come, a group of people that love history so much and trying to put the word out.
What the Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez do in educating the public is not just about Hispanic history, it's about American history and those who helped us become the United States of America.
At this time, we have the pleasure and honor to hear the greetings from some of the people whose hard work has helped to revindicate Spain and Bernardo de Gálvez's vast contribution to the creation of our United States.
Hello, my name is Carolina Castillo Krim, and I'm so pleased to be part of this wonderful group that is celebrating Bernardo de Gálvez and the American Revolution. I wanted to share just a couple of things about Texas and Bernardo de Gálvez. Actually, Bernardo came to Texas in 1769 with his uncle José de Gálvez, who was Inspector General at the time. Young Bernardo was sent as a lieutenant to Chihuahua, where he was supposed to search out the Apaches who had been attacking the Spanish settlements. Bernardo took his men and they marched across the Chihuahuan Desert, and by the time they reached the Pecos River, they were almost out of supplies. But it is here that Bernardo de Gálvez said to his men, "He who has courage will follow me." His men followed him across the Pecos River, and they captured the Apache tribe the next day. They returned the Apaches to Chihuahua, and Bernardo de Gálvez is said to have learned the Apache language and was able to write a report for the king about how to deal with the Indians in the northern parts of the frontier. Now, he was wounded eventually in battle. He returned to Spain to recuperate, and from there, because of his connections, he was promoted and made governor of Louisiana. While he was in Louisiana, of course, everybody knows that he went on to fight the British and defeat the British in Baton Rouge and Mobile and Pensacola, but his troops needed cattle, needed food to survive, and as a fellow governor, he was able to contact Ripperda in Texas and ask for cattle. So it was the governor of Texas who sent the first cattle drive from Texas toward Louisiana to supply Bernardo de Gálvez's troops. Bernardo de Gálvez eventually went back to Spain and was promoted once again to Viceroy of Mexico. While he was in Mexico, he sent one of his ship's captains to map the Gulf of Mexico. And in mapping the Gulf of Mexico, José de Villa found the island that was later named Galveston, and he named the bay itself the Bahía de Galveston. So Galveston, although Bernardo never set foot there, he did not have a condo on Galveston, but Bernardo de Gálvez was the reason that Galveston got its name. Thank you for being with us.
Hello everyone, I hope that you and all your family are fine in this very strange and very deadly situation of the COVID-19 around the world. As you can see, I'm working very hard right now, but talking seriously, I'm happy and honored to be with you, Macharaviaya and Macharaviaya's sister cities, both sides of the Atlantic, talking about Bernardo de Gálvez, my personal opinion, the still little-known hero of the American Revolutionary War, our Spanish hero. When I found about Bernardo de Gálvez a couple of years ago, I was really intrigued. I was taking notes and traveling United States and in Spain, and in my research, both sides of the Atlantic, I found out that his reivindication came about thanks to the effort and the dedication of everyday people like secretaries or historians or students, more than the institutional power, we can say, and journalists too, obviously, and people like students. And I can learn, or I learned about Mr. Eric Martel, the founder of Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez, the Order of Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez in Houston in mid-70s. And after this foundation started the movement, and different chapters were opened around the world. And now Bernardo de Gálvez has been recognized thanks to the effort of you and different person here and there, has been bestowed like an honorary citizenship, that only a circumstance that only 7 more individuals has, and has been recognized. Individuals like Sir Winston Churchill or Mother Teresa, and how a very old more than 230-year-old promise came true, and his picture now, his painting now is in the Capitol, in the Congress of the United States in Washington, D.C. Well, I would like to say thank you to all of you. I'm very thankful and grateful. I would like to say thank you to Macharaviaya and la Orden de Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez de Macharaviaya, and many friends of mine. Teresa Valcarce, Manolo Olmedo Checa, Miss Nancy Fetterman, or Mary Anthony Starks, Vicky Arbizu, John Espinosa, many of you that play a key role in my book. Bernardo de Gálvez entró en Washington, and now I would like to say one more thing. I would like to announce that my book, the book, is available just a few days ago in English version, and Bernardo de Gálvez entered Washington, Los Papeles del Sitio Publisher, and with this strong support of Fundación Unicaja, the sponsor of this cultural adventure, and I can say that it's impossible to do this book without my friend Luis Alfonso Duluc. He is the translator. He knows really well Spain and the United States and the past of Bernardo de Gálvez, and has all the tools to have a very good translation, So I would like to say happy 4th of July for all of you here and there, and Pensacola, Macharaviaya, and Spain and the United States. Thank you very much.
My name is Teresa Valcarce, and I am a very fortunate woman because 5 years ago I became honorary citizen of Macharaviaya, which allows me to say hello to my beautiful people, the Macharatungos, in such an important day. I am so happy today. Even though I'm in Washington, D.C., I am able to celebrate the birthday of the United States with my own adopted village, the only one that celebrates this day with a reenactment of the Battle of Pensacola in the whole world outside of the U.S. And I belong to it because I am now part of Macharaviaya. I need to send a special hug to Vicky and Alfonso for this amazing idea of the virtual celebration and for including me in it. Also to the Asociación Bernardo de Gálvez, and especially to my Granaderos and Damas de Gálvez in Macharaviaya, as well as to every single Macharatungo and Macharatunga paisanos míos. I dream of the day that I go and visit all of you again. Although I am far away, I want to let you know that I keep working very hard to promote Gálvez and the Spanish contribution to the independence of the United States in different projects. I want to also recognize how grateful I am to Iberdrola, because Iberdrola is the only private company supporting these efforts and understanding that this work brings benefits to Spain and the US at the political, cultural, educational, and economic level. Now, to all Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez everywhere, especially in Pensacola and Galveston, sister cities of Macharaviaya, happy 4th of July, feliz 4 de julio. God bless Spain and the United States of America. Viva Gálvez!
Thank you, friends, for your participation today. Your work is remarkable, and you're great examples for all of us. Gálvez's most important battle for the Anglo-American Revolution was the siege and taking of British Pensacola in 1781. Mr. Wesley Odom, historian and Granadero from Pensacola, will take us through a very dynamic summary of this famous battle.
First impressions of the American Revolution often include colonial protest over taxation, George Washington, the Founding Fathers, and various battles. Most histories focus upon the conflict within the rebellious 13 colonies, but ignore the 14th and 15th colonies, which were British East and West Florida. The Continental Congress in Philadelphia had invited both to participate in the rebellion, yet both declined. West Florida and its capital Pensacola were growing more rapidly than Georgia had developed. Thousands were moving into the colony, and some were shipping raw materials and agricultural products through Pensacola. Yet most of its residents realized that the colony was still emerging and needed royal support and protection. The other colonies had no foreign European neighbors, but West Florida did. Britain's traditional enemy of Spain controlled New Orleans, the lands west of the Mississippi River, and Cuba to the south. The Spanish realized the strategic importance of West Florida. They understood that whomever owned it had the best deep-water port on the Gulf of Mexico, controlled access to the upper Mississippi River, and possessed fertile lands in Alabama and Mississippi. The rebellion by the 13 colonies against Britain created an opportunity that the Spanish gladly exploited. Eventually, quiet and prosperous West Florida became a war zone.
Hello, I'm Wesley Odom, author of the book The Longest Siege of the American Revolution, Pensacola. It was here in Pensacola, the capital of West Florida, where the ultimate fight occurred. More men fought here than in many of the other battles in the 13 colonies. It was a decisive engagement that would have important outcomes for its participants and the new United States.
The British, who controlled the land east of the Mississippi River, also strengthened their defenses in the western sections of the colony because relations with Spain had deteriorated. The Spanish, who owned New Orleans and the land west of the Mississippi River, always had disliked the British use of the river, which Spain wanted to control. In 1776, the Spanish governor in New Orleans first began to supply the continental government before the government of France sent support. The subsequent Spanish governor, General Bernardo de Gálvez, continued sending supplies up the Mississippi River, but went a step further by boldly seizing several British vessels and even welcoming a Continental Army raiding party. All these actions infuriated British authorities, but Britain did not want war with Spain. This was because a war with Spain might involve France. Together, these nations had enough ships to challenge British sea supremacy. Alone, they could not effectively neutralize British military operations. When Spain eventually declared war upon Britain in 1779, Gálvez was informed that the primary objective would be to oust the British from West Florida, since this would give the Spanish control of the Gulf of Mexico and full access to the Mississippi River. He immediately organized a heterogeneous force of regulars, militiamen, and Indians. In a short late summer campaign, this force seized 5 forts, 8 vessels, and captured almost 1,000 soldiers, at the loss of only 1 wounded Spaniard. The entire western part of West Florida, including the towns of Baton Rouge and Natchez, were in Spanish control. Gálvez continued pressuring the British by attacking Mobile in early 1780. After a short siege, Spanish cannons were able to make a breach in the brick walls of the fort. The British garrison surrendered before a relief force from Pensacola arrived. Gálvez wanted to move against Pensacola immediately after his Mobile victory, but the invasion was delayed due to internal military bickering and poor weather. Finally, in February 1781, Gálvez departed Havana with his initial attack force of approximately 1,300 troops, which landed unopposed on San Rosa Island and made camp in the modern-day Fort Pickens camping area. For the next several days, Gálvez and his naval commander disagreed over how to proceed. The Navy thought entering the harbor under the threat of the Royal Navy redoubt was suicidal. The Spanish naval officers warned that British guns could destroy each Spanish ship as it entered the harbor. The guns then largely faced the sides of the ships, not forward or toward the rear of the ship. Additionally, the officers argued that even if a few cannons could be maneuvered forward, they still would be unable to return fire against the redoubt because of its high elevation. Alternatively, the Spanish Navy insisted that Gálvez use his army to attack and take the Royal Navy redoubt prior to the Navy's entering into the harbor. Gálvez objected, suggesting the Navy commander was acting cowardly for not wanting to sail into the harbor. At an impasse, the Navy commander ordered an amphibious landing on the Perdido side of the modern-day naval base, but Indians, under a British officer, ambushed the landing party, inflicting heavy casualties. Things changed on March 18th. The British naval commander decided to take his 2 warships out of the fight. This was because newly installed Spanish cannons on Santa Rosa Island outranged the British cannons. The British naval commander therefore ordered the unloading of all his cannons and gunpowder from the 2 warships. Since the 2 British warships were anchored just off the mainland, Gálvez saw this from Santa Rosa Island, realizing that the warships were being withdrawn permanently from the fight. He then ordered a lieutenant to take a note and a cannonball to the Spanish naval commander. The ball was a 32-pounder, which had been fired from Royal Navy Redoubt and had landed on the island. The note simply stated, "He who has honor will follow me." A 32-pounder was bigger than most guns in the Spanish fleet and underscored the seriousness and danger of the mission. The Navy captain was incensed and threatened that had an enlisted man brought him the message, he would have hanged him on the yardarm. Now look at the entrance of Pensacola Bay. It was there, on March 18th, 1781, where Gálvez stood in the stern of his lightly armed brigantine, Galveston, slowly sailing through a hail of British cannon fire from the redoubt on the cliffs. While one shot went through a sail, Gálvez's vessel remained untouched. His troops on the island cheered with joy at their commander's brave accomplishment. Finally, on May 8th, a howitzer shell fired by a French unit exploded into an open door of the gunpowder magazine at Queen Anne's Redoubt. Instantaneously, the entire fortification blew up. After 6 more hours of fighting, the next closest British redoubt was almost out of ammunition. Seeing no chances of success, the British surrendered. Gálvez had seized the Gulf Coast for Spain. The siege of Pensacola was his crowning achievement. Florida would be ceded to Spain during the treaty negotiations. Britain had been expelled from all lands east of the Mississippi River except for Canada. A friendlier Spain was a much better neighbor for the young United States.
We are now honored with the presence of Mr. Víctor González, Cultural Deputy for the Province of Málaga, and Ms. Roberta Aaron, Consular Agent of the United States for the Costa del Sol.
Hello, how are you? How are you? Fine. Victor from the Deputation of Málaga. We are near from the 4th of July, a great day not only for United States of America, it's a big day, it's a great day too for Spain. I want to say hello to our friends in Houston, Galveston, and Pensacola. It's a pleasure for us to send this communication for you. It's really important, the 4th of July. I insist not only for United States, for Occident. We are something very important. We have something very important figure of Bernardo de Gálvez. Your soul of Bernardo de Gálvez is one of the most important historical person in the history of the war. The next 4th of July in Macharaviaya with our great mayor Antonio Campos, we're going to celebrate to commemorate the 4th of July in Malaga in Macharaviaya. It's really a big pleasure for us from Spain to United States for Pensacola. We love you. We love American people. We love Bernardo de Gálvez. Yo solo.
Hello, everyone, and happy 4th of July. I am Roberta Aaron, the United States Consular Agent here in Malaga. I am pleased to have had the opportunity to get to know many of you, either here in Spain or back in the United States. Usually, I have the privilege of participating in the celebrations of the 4th of July in Macharaviaya, when we have the opportunity to honor Bernardo de Gálvez for his immense contribution to the independence of the United States of America. This year, due to COVID-19, we are only able to celebrate virtually, thanks to the efforts of all of you. However, I look forward to next year's celebration and hope to greet many of you once again in Macharaviaya. Until then, stay safe and well, and once again, happy 4th of July. Thank you, and goodbye.
And now we will all enjoy the wonderful surprise from our friends from the Order of Granaderos y Damas de Macharaviaya. Thank you, Macharaviaya.
You can see the ladies wearing period costume. Usually in Macharaviaya they have hundreds of people doing the reenactment of the Battle of Pensacola. Very nice. Vicky, what do you think about those beautiful costumes that they're wearing?
Yes, especially the women. I mean, they're wearing really nice costumes from that age, you know, and the period costume, I would say.
Now we are going to raise the flags of the United States and Spain, as well as play the national anthems of the United States and Spain. It is really interesting to see how they are protecting each other wearing the face masks. I really appreciate it a lot. Here's the Spanish national anthem.
Descansen, armas.
We are now going to see the posting of the American flag and the national anthem of the United States.
Atención, tambores. Presenten armas.
It's so beautiful to see children helping and being part of this beautiful celebration, connecting in the history of their beautiful town all the way to the other side of the Atlantic. From this just very quaint village.
Una bala de A32, recogida en el campamento que conduzco y presento, es de las que arroja el fuerte de la entrada. Quien tenga honor y valor, que me siga. Yo voy por delante con el Galveston para quitarles el miedo. ¡Yo solo! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Gálvez! ¡Viva! De la Orden de Granaderos y Damas de Gálvez de Macharaviaya, quiero felicitar a todos los pueblos de Estados Unidos en su Día de la Independencia, en este día 4 de julio. In the name of the Damas and Granaderos de Gálvez of Macharaviaya, we wish you Happy Independence Day. ¡Viva Gálvez! ¡Viva!
Beautiful surprise. What a beautiful surprise you have reserved for the end, Macharaviaya. Thank you.
Sí, gracias. Qué sorpresa tan bonita. Macharaviaya nos sigue transmitiendo su alegría aún en esta situación que estamos viviendo.
This virtual gathering has been quite different, but we enjoyed it quite a lot. Now we hope for you to come to Spain here next year.
Esperamos que hayan disfrutado esta reunión virtual y que el próximo 4 de julio nos veamos todos en Macharaviaya.
Vicky and I feel so honored to have been your hosts today.
Sí, Luis Alfonso y yo estamos muy contentos de haber participado en esta festividad.
Now, let us raise our glasses to our health, the brotherhood of men, and the history that binds us together.
Por la salud, la hermandad y la historia que nos une.
¡Viva Gálvez! Happy 4th of July! ¡Viva!
¡Viva! ¡Feliz 4 de julio!
Happy Independence Day, everybody!
Muy bien.
Thank you. Enjoy, and see you next year here in Spain.
Macharaviaya.
In Macharaviaya.